All right, this is a test to see if this is at all interesting to anybody. Uh, just playing some online Magic, playing the kind of standard format of online Magic called Alchemy, which uses cards from the last six expansion sets. It's blue-white. It's a blue-black control deck. A lot of counter spells, a lot of creature kill cards. Uh, Here I'm using a Foretold a card. That's kind of maybe a new mechanic to some people. You can pay two mana of any color, and it sets the card aside, and then you can cast it later. It usually reduces the casting cost. In this case, it reduced the counterspell card to 2 mana instead of three. Not every, obviously, not every card has Foretell, but some do. So here I'm kind of in trouble. Didn't get a land drop. I foretold another card. That's just basically a basic creature kill card. Now I have a counter spell and a creature kill card for 2 mana each that I can cast. He played something that turned one of his lands into a 2/2. I'm all tapped out, nothing I can do. I get my third land, but it's not an island, so I don't have the right mana for my other counter spell, which is absorb energy, but I do have mana for the creature kill and the foretold creature kill and the foretold counterspell card. So I'm gonna see if he does anything. He does. Creature card. I'm just gonna counter it immediately. I should have just killed it probably with the creature kill card. I'm not sure why I countered it. Wasn't paying attention there. Again, and that kind of fucked me too. Huh. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I didn't even realize I made that mistake. So I'm still don't have the mana for the counterspell card. That's embarrassing, by the way. My first game doing this, and it's just like I'm pointing out a mistake immediately. Okay. So what did he do? He casts a spell where he gets to look at a bunch of cards off the top of his library and draw three, looks like. So he's well stocked up, 7 cards. I'm still waiting for my fourth land. Not getting it still, but did draw a creature kill card that I can cast. Now I have 2 destroy target creature cards, basically. Both castable. If he does play a creature, I'm probably going to kill it with the Foretold card. I'm assuming. I don't have to do it now. I can just wait till the end of his turn to see if he casts anything better. I do that because, instead of the other creature kill card, because if you foretell it, you can scry too, which is look at the top 2 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order you want. I rearrange it to ensure that I get the land drop, and then cast this Key to the Archive, 4 colorless mana artifact. And this is an online only card. It gives you a choice of 3 out of about 15 or 16 cards, random 3 out of 15 or 16, and you can choose one, and they're all like super OG cards that we remember. So I have the option of choosing Demonic Tutor. I put that in my hand, but I have to discard one card. I discard one of my creature cards because I really only need one of these creatures out to win the game. That's the whole strategy of this deck, is to get one of these creatures out and just protect it with a bunch of counter spells, basically. And I'll explain what the creature is as it comes out. Also, Key to the Archive gives you tap for 2 colorless, so that sorry, not two mana of any color. So that gives me plenty of mana going in to, what turn are we in? 6 or 7 here. So I'm all tapped out. There's nothing I can do. We'll see if he plays anything. I have all right. So he's taking this opportunity to play a bunch of creatures. Okay. I'm fine with, because during my scry, I know that I have Blood on the Snow coming out, which is basically a Black Wrath of God. So I want him to put as many creatures out as possible so I can wipe the board. Alright, I got a land. It's kind of a special land. It's like a land that turns into a creature, so it comes into play tapped. What do I have available? 6 mana. I'm deciding whether to play the creature or not. If I play the creature, I won't have enough mana to protect it, so I cast a Demonic Tutor instead. That's a straight OG Demonic Tutor, good old Demonic Tutor like we remember. And I know I'm kind of like wondering what I should get. I needed to take the opportunity to get something. I think I decide to go for a second copy of that creature because I don't have the mana now to put it out and protect it. But if I have 2 copies of the creature, then I can put one out, and if he kills one, I don't even go for it. Sorry. I go for Discover the Formula instead. That's an online only card that 6 mana you can cast. It gives you a random 3 cards from your non-land cards from your deck and reduces the casting cost of everything in your hand by 1. So I decided to go all in on the 1 creature card I have in my hand. He casts a 7/7 Trampler. I know I can take care of that immediately with the kill card, creature kill card. I draw another key to the archive. So I still don't have the mana to cast that and protect it, but I decide to YOLO. There's a lot of YOLOing going on here. So I just cast the card. He's a 4/4 flyer. Every time he deals combat damage to an opponent, he gets +1 or +X counter, with X being the amount of damage he did. So if you can clear a path for him and attack every turn, he quickly becomes 4/4, becomes 8/8, 16/16, 32/32. I mean, that should kill within 3 turns if the path is clear. He doesn't do anything to it. He is bubble snaring it. It also has ward discard card, which means if you target it with a spell, there's a cost to it. The cost for this is discarding. So I force him to discard a card. I don't have any mana to counter that. So that's basically taps the creature and it stays tapped as long as that enchantment's on him. Here I get the card and I don't have any other creature in my hand, so I am deciding whether to key the archive. If I key to the archive, I'll have the mana for a counter spell, but I won't have the mana for Discover the Formula. So I'm deciding whether I want to save the mana for Discover the Formula or just go key to the archive, which will get me more mana the next turn and allow me to choose a card. And here we go. You should recognize some of these OG cards. Classic Counterspell, 2 mana Counterspell. Regrowth, which I think is the first time I've ever chosen Regrowth with this. But I know I have one of those creatures in my discard because I discarded it to get the Demonic Tutor from the last time. So this time I discard Memory Deluge, which is just a 4 mana that lets you look at the top 4 cards of your library and choose 2. I don't really need that because I like the cards in my hand right now. Alright, so now do I have enough mana to cast Regrowth, get the creature? It looks like I do. Cast Regrowth, get the creature back, cast the creature, and still have enough mana for the counter spells in my hand, or at least one of them, which costs 3. So key the archives really key here. Gets me OG cards, OP cards even in today's game, and still have and can be used for mana. So he's going to try to do the same thing he did to the other one. I'm going to let it resolve, the ward cost resolve, so he discards no matter if the spell goes through or not. He's also doing that thing he did before that allows him to look at the top X number of cards off the top of his deck. It depends on the land he's playing, I think. And he's drawing 3. All right, so I'm letting that resolve. He did that so he has more cards to pick to discard. But anyway, I don't care about that. I'm just waiting for that to resolve so I can counter it with my counter spell. He's all tapped out. And now there's nothing you can do but let me attack for some damage. And I draw Alrund's Epiphany. That's a hot card these days. It's basically a time walk for 7 mana, unlike the old time walk, which was 2 mana. So extra turn. I'm deciding whether to take the opportunity to. You might as well. If you foretell it, meaning play 2 mana and cast it on another turn, you can't cast foretold cards on the same turn. If you foretell it, then you could take an extra turn and it creates 2 1/1 flyers. I decide I don't really need those flyers, so I just cast it a vanilla Alrund's Epiphany that allows me another land drop. And now I can attack, let it grow to 16/16, and I have 1 counter spell in my hand, and if I need another, I can Memory Deluge and hope to get another one, which is looking at the top 4 cards of your deck, drawing 2. So I have 16. He's looking at 16. He's looking at lethal next turn unless he does something about the creature. He only has 3 cards in his hand, so even if he casts something that destroys it or incapacitates it, I can counter it, which is what happens here. He has to discard a card whether the spell goes through or not. So now he only has 1 card in his hand. So even if it's a creature kill card, after I counter this one, he can't really do anything about it because you have to discard as the cost for targeting that creature. So he is, after that counter spell, that wraps it up and he concedes. So yeah, that was a win.